Hey friends, welcome to my channel. So today's another craft with Kat. Today we'll be making your very own dream catcher. I will show you just the beginning steps. As you can see, I will be transforming this into a Mickey inspired dream catcher. I'll have another video showing you how I do that. You will need some leather cording. It could be faux leather. You could get it at your local craft store. Hobby Lobby and Michael's carries it. Some baker's twine and two types of glue. It could either be a hot glue or regular glue, and E6000 to make sure it stays nice and sturdy. To get started, I will show you how to wrap the cording around the hoop. The hoop you could get at Hobby Lobby, and I believe Michael's carries it as well. You want to make sure you tie it nice and tight and have some left over at the end, and you will wrap it in. I'll show you how to do that later on. So you want to make sure that the cording is nice and taut, and you wrap it around. Make sure it stays pretty even. That way you don't have any twisting going around. I like just going around and then going through and making sure that, you know, as it gets tighter, I'll make sure it doesn't get all tangled on me, and you just keep going and keep wrapping. You'll see me doing this a couple times, and then I go ahead and cut the feed and come back towards the end. So I will come back to you then. Okay, let's move on to the final step. So now that we're at the end, you're gonna use that extra piece and wrap it underneath, so that way it just makes sure it doesn't get unraveled. And once you have it all nice and tight, you're gonna use some of your hot glue or some regular glue to make sure it stays together. So I use the silicone glue that I got from Martha's Creation. I'll leave the link down below. And that just helps it stay together. And then after that, I will use the E6000 to make sure it does not come apart. After you place the E6000, just leave it to dry for a little bit and come back. Now we're gonna add the baker's twine to make the design. So you again wanna make sure you tie it onto the hoop, and you're gonna cut off the excess. I do a double knot, and then I add E6000 so that it doesn't come unraveled and it doesn't move out of place. Okay, so now it's time to do the design. I do a total of 10 knots. Basically, you just wrap it over the hoop and then under. Basically, almost like if you were tying a shoelace. So around the hoop and through the little loop that you made. And you do that 10 times through. You want to make sure that they're pretty even, and I ran out of space, so I knew I didn't give myself enough room for 10. So you just go ahead and move them around and tighten the rope as you go. That way you have enough room for a total of 10 loops. Once you have your 10 loops, it's time to keep going all the way around to make the next layer of loops. So what you do is you're gonna go ahead and, once I make sure this is nice and even, let's see, hold on. Wait a second, almost there. Okay, now you will go through the loops that you created. So you go through, like if it was the hoop, and then over. So through, and then loop the loop, and you keep doing this all the way around as many times as you like. I think I did a total of 4 layers, and then I will show you that I will tighten these to make the more taut look. Here I am about to start my 3rd layer. So you're going into that 2nd layer that you did the loops, and you just keep doing the same thing. Keep going all the way around. Take your time. This is sped up, so take your time. Watch a movie, watch TV while you're doing this. It's pretty mindless once you start figuring out the pattern, and you just keep going. Like I said, I think I did a total of 4 layers. At this point, I get a little bit mixed up and I mess up the pattern a bit, but in the end, you'll see it doesn't look too bad. If that happens, just keep going. It'll work out in the end. Now I'm starting my 4th and final layer. This is a smaller hoop, so this one only required 4 layers. For the larger one, you could either do a bigger pattern or a smaller pattern. It is up to you. So once you reached your final layer, you're gonna go ahead and start tightening it all around. This is a very tedious part. It takes time. You're gonna have to start where you began. So slowly start tightening the rope and putting the slack back basically towards the middle. You'll see me doing it. Just keep going and keep going. I stop the video and cut the feed while I do this while I'm watching a movie because it is tedious. You just keep tightening the rope. Once you're at the center, you can just go ahead and pull it through and it looks really good. Once you have tightened up the rope, you're going to pull out the center to make it nice and taut, and then you can add a bead if you like. This helps cover up the knot in the center, and because I want it to be similar to my other one, I'm just going to add this little crystal bead on there, and then you're just going to pull it through on the other side so it stays in the center, and you're going to create a knot. Because I use baker's twine, I just unravel it a little bit so I have 2 sections to create a knot. I cut off the excess and add some E6000 so it does not become unraveled. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you try it out. Stay tuned for the next video where I put together the Mickey shaped dream catcher. Catch you in the next one. Bye.